Fantasy Rivals.
World Series 2020, volume 116. Yes, correct. That is our 116th World Series. Holy shit, that's a lot of years. However, when you go 103 without a World Series, you know? So let's talk about it. Dodgers, Rays. Dodgers started or ended the regular COVID season 43-17. The Rays 40-20. So two excellent records. Mark, before we get going into this, does this year count? Can you really count 60 games when you normally play 100 or 162?
Normally, I'd question it, but these guys were the best two teams in the regular season the entire year. So it's kind of fitting that they made it here anyways.
That's to know. You look at the Chicago Cubs the last couple of years. How did we do in September? We blew our last two seasons in September. We choked away an 8-game lead, and we also lost a play-in game to the Brewers. So I feel like over the course of time, you take a look at injuries, you take a look at stuff like that. Like, can't anyone get hot for 60 games?
Yeah, but to that point, the Cubs again blew it late this year to the Marlins. Right on cue.
Feels like 03 all over again. Except Steve wasn't allowed in the stands.
As if Fitzmagic wasn't enough, you're going to bring up Bartman.
Last
was
time,
a great game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last night, 8-3. Playoff Kershaw wasn't playoff Kershaw. The guy was awesome. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run.
I mean, he was due for some positive regression because for whatever reason, that guy's ERA in the regular season is always sub 2.5. And then in the playoffs, just can't figure it out. So, I mean, the Dodgers are due, man. They've spent so much money to try to win a championship. And I actually have the dollar breakdown here. So in this prorated payroll, right? So these 60 games compared to the normal 162. The LA Dodgers are spending $107.9 million. The Tampa Bay Rays, $28.8 million. So to break that down to make it a little bit easier for you, the Tampa Bay they're not Devil Rays anymore. The Tampa Bay Rays
just Rays
spent $720,000 per regular season win. The LA Dodgers spent $2.51 million for every regular season win. That's only second to the New York Yankees, right?
Wow.
The Rays, that's the third lowest payroll in Major League Baseball. So honestly, regardless of what happens in this World Series, touche.
Yeah.
Good for the Rays.
They're something. And their top two pitchers have been awesome, and Glasnow and Snell. Obviously, they're not paying them very much, but still, they're great, even if Glasnow got roughed up a bit late last night. The one thing that stands out most to me is how, and it's not even a team that's involved in this, is how the Red Sox let Mookie go. He has to be 2 or 3 best players in baseball. Mike Trout. And then if it's not 2 and it's 3, number 2 is Cody Bellinger.
Oh, Cody Bellinger is unreal. That kid's got some pop. But back to Mookie. Did I read earlier he doesn't have a home run this year?
No, that can't be right.
I was reading something, man, and it did not make sense. We'll skip over that point for now. I don't want to put out any false information. But when you look at the Dodgers lineup as a whole, Betts, Seager, Bellinger, Turner, Max Muncy, A.J. Pollock, they got a squad. That is a squad over there in L.A., and obviously the payroll shows that. How do you pitch through that?
You can't. I mean, and it's not like they're right-handed heavy or left-handed heavy. They're so back and forth. Like, you want to throw a lefty specialist? Okay, great. Now you have Justin Turner after you get Seager out. Like,
it's how the Cubs should feel.
Yeah.
It's how the Cubs lineup should have looked, or how it should have felt to pitchers. There is no way against the LA Dodgers that you should have a pitcher going through that order for the 3rd time. Because if somehow he escapes that order the first 2 times unscathed or with little damage, you can bet your ass the 3rd time he goes through that lineup, they're going to rough him up because those guys are too good hitters.
Right, and which has to be the concern for the Rays, because where are they going to get their offense? They were like such a pitching dominant team, but again, you like you said, 3rd time through the order. Now what? they get 4 runs. How are you getting 5? You know,
and on top of it, this was crazy to me. In the ALCS, the Rays struck out 81 times in 7 games. That is 11 and a half strikeouts per game. They struck out in a 7-game series 11 and a half times per game. That is ridiculous. You got to put the ball in play, because if you rely on the long ball and you can't manufacture runs, especially against a team like LA, you're going to be hitting the golf course a lot earlier than you thought you would. That's going to be 4 games and we're going to be done.
That's what baseball is now. You're hitting home runs or you're striking out.
That's it. It's an all or nothing game. There's no small ball sometimes in the playoffs, but even now, I feel like in these playoffs, I didn't see a ton of aggressive base running. I didn't see a ton of – I don't know. It feels like that part of baseball's kind of starting to take a little bit of a hit, because these guys are just getting so good that the pitchers are either throwing it 100 miles an hour and they're striking the guy out, or these batters are hitting it 450 feet and it's not – I just don't not play.
Yeah. Mookie stole 2 bases last night, and that was like the craziest thing we've ever seen all playoffs. And like,
should be natural.
He's so damn good.
He's a 5-tool player.
He leads off for them. Yeah, Gold Glove right fielder. It's not fair that they were able to get him for, prospects.
So if you're going to build a team around – you sound like a pretty big Mookie fan. If you're going to build a team around one player in baseball, is he a top 5 player for you?
Yes, currently, absolutely.
Where do you put him in that?
So it's got to be Trout, Mookie, Bellinger, Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, he's still new on the scene, though.
Yeah, right. He's super young, and that's why
Or is he on Padres or Pirates?
Padres.
They had a surprisingly good year, the Padres.
They have some pop. Yeah, they can hit too.
They can hit. So they've slowly been building a squad, because they were brutal for some years there. And then when what's his face went over there, Manny Machado,
Hosmer.
No, when Machado went over there, I couldn't believe he chose San Diego, but I guess at least it's beautiful. If you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose some warm weather, right?
And you get paid $300 million, and you get to live in 75-degree weather 360 days a year.
Yeah, that 300
not a bad.
But you could put me a lot of places for $300 million, man. Put me over in
what's up, Alaska,
rural Soviet Russia, and I'll do that for $300 million. I don't give a shit.
Just to be clear, rural, not urban Soviet Russia.
No, too easy to live in a city in Russia. You got to put me out in like Siberia
with the cows.
Exactly. Who do you think is going to win this, Mark? Who's going to wrap up this World Series? For me, it's hard to believe the Dodgers won't.
Yeah, I agree. Like you were talking about Kershaw's positive regression, I guess, or progression. I don't know what you call it. Getting back to the mean, because he was so bad.
Right.
The Dodgers have been in the World Series.
Positive regression.
Yeah, right. I like it. We'll term that.
Not Webster.
The Dodgers have been in this and have been so damn close so long. It's their time, and the Rays.
It's their time.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though how both the ALCS and NLCS went into Game 7s, and they were good. They were good Game 7s.
Yeah.
Again, the Dodgers coming back down 3-1 to the Braves. Tough to be a Braves fan. Wasn't John Smoltz announcing that game too? Yeah. Wasn't Smoltz announcing that game too? Yeah, tough one. Sorry about that, Johnny. And he got a strikeout record or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. Curious to see how this World Series is going to shake out, but feeling pretty good about the Dodgers here, and I think it's time for LA to earn this one. So,
about their time.
Yeah, see how it plays out.